Okay, next question, kind of a newlywed question, navigating some in-laws. Okay, so been married just over a year, and my husband is really close to his mom. He talks to her all the time. He often tells her things before he tells me. She gives me a lot of unsolicited advice, and I'm having a hard time trying to navigate this relationship, both with my husband and then with her. We're only 1 year in, so maybe it doesn't bode too well unless you can figure it out. What is your advice there?
Well, it does take a while to leave, and it takes a while to cleave. Like there is a transference of a primary relationship that takes place at the wedding. And it's really hard to switch the flip off from doing what we just said, looking to your mother for the primary person or your father for the guidance, for the counsel, for the advice, and switching that over and reorienting yourself towards your spouse. I know husbands and wives that have struggled with this, but that principle of leave your mother and father, cleave to your husband, cleave to your wife. It is foundational for marital health. And so one of the ways that we do, I think I'll struggle with this with my sons because I'm really close to both of my sons. And I think that I understand that dynamic of like my oldest daughter got married and it was wonderful. Great guy. I don't really struggle with like letting my kids grow up anyway, but I didn't have any concerns. I'm like, this is great, new little life, go ahead and build a family. If one of my sons marry a woman, for example, who maybe isn't as mature or something like that, I think that it will be hard for me not to want to give advice and not to want to be heavily involved. But even I will need to say, it actually is not my primary business. His primary life is going to be with his wife. And I, as a mother-in-law, will need to encourage him to first consult with her. That doesn't mean never talk to your parents, but it means go to them first. This is actually one of the major ways that you can create emotional intimacy and maintain an emotional bond is by prioritizing emotional information with your spouse. So if it's the wife who's having the problem, she should tell her husband and she should have him talk to his mother. A lot of times the wife feels like they need to talk to the mother-in-law. No, it is his job to leave and cleave. It is not her job to cut off so he can cleave. Like this is part of headship. She goes to him and says, you are responsible for this family. One of the main ways that needs to be done is I need you to transfer your primary emotional ties to me. I want you to have a good relationship with your mother. I want to have a good relationship with your mother. At least I hope that that's how she feels. But there will be no good relationship if his primary connection is to his mother and not to his wife.